Um, I'm just going to test the amplifier. I've removed the biasing and not much else. I've tied it up a bit so it's a bit tiny in nature. And going to run it now. See what that's how it's going. There's two things I need to look at. The current. You can't just measure by a meter. Current in the in the output is a series of pulses, and you can't see it. I think because the voltage across the cord is very, very low. It's just a series of current pulses. It's a 3 box. You can't see it. It's quite small. You can't see it. You can see slight pulses, but it does actually take something. And what I'm going to do is to put a resistor in. I've got 100 ohm resistor to put in the circuit so you can see the current. 100 ohm resistor for the current of 1 amp is well, it's 100 volts in this one. It always works like that. Well, I did have some resistors. Did have them, but they all disappeared. All resistors have gone. So, don't have a resistor, but it's got to be a fairly bulky resistor. So what about these things? What are these? 4 turns. It's 10 hours, it's rather 10 hours, yeah? So it's a real on that. So it's all the circuits, I'll just see what I can do. 10 hours on this is a resistor for the pulse, well, I'm using the pulses, series of pulses. So put it on there. So this, and I need to turn that. So this is a short end, and the other one is because I don't have. Sorry, I don't have what I don't have. Is another current output that has to be put on, which makes it noisy. And put the oscilloscope across it, and stuck in, and put it across. That's fast more on Earth. So let's see. So now I'll put the power on and trail. Nice. That's all right. Power's on. So what's wrong? There's an amp, there's a 1 amp AC goes, right? So that doesn't work. So 10 ohms, 1 amp is 10 volts. So we're going to put a paracel earth in the wrong place. Yeah, the other side. I have to there at all. The two screws on. And so I know what's going on. So it's only got a small water, but it should be there. So it should be there, stuck there. That's all right. So let's just get that off. This goes to the collector. So actually, it's the wrong one. That's sorting it out. So that's the other one is divided. Put it out there. That comes off there. That goes on there. And I've got to connect. Still got to do the connection, but it's very short. Oh well, crocodile clips is a joke. I've just got 4 crocodile clips like that. So yeah, quite sure to do that. The other way to do it is to put the earth down there. Clearly it's oscillator. Projection on high oscillator. That should work. Nine. Interesting. Nine. Not very well. It's very well. So I've had this trial before. So it's junction is in the wrong place. It's circuit does contain the right thing. It shorts out like this. Shorts it. You've got to put it somewhere else. And that's difficult. Not very good to put resistors in with these things. You can put two probes and have a differential. But that's no good. So that's it. See if I can see a small process. There's no process. See that? That circuit is very low impedance. You don't see it. You don't see it on the voltage, but on the potential scale, it's small. Just put the some power in there, as I said. Nothing else that working. Just see it. Let's see if it's working. No, it is there. It is there. Like that. That's actually quite an odd. That's the pulses coming out of the it's pulses because that's how it works. Let's just turn this off. It's confusing. That's not working. So it's the oscilloscope. The oscillator is working. These working. Yeah. I don't call it infection, which I can't get. They infected me with that, you know, to make me ill. And they got me to pay a death strike on the crystal with one. It's 53 hertz. So that is working. So I should be getting a signal on the output side. I attach another probe. The output across the main card is not going through the system, the transducer system. Let's see that. It's quite a current. It's actually I bought some 5 volts across 10 ohms is what is it? It's 5 divided by 10, isn't it? Which is 0.5 amps. It's not very much. So let's see. I put another thing to connect here. So what is I was looking for? The other probe. Here it is. It's on the floor. Good place to put things on the floor. There's fault finding again. Fault finding. It's very interesting, but nobody's interested in fault finding. We have to do it with testing things, with building things. You have to make sure something's happening. And not everybody does that. Not everybody does that. This thing's got a probe with a broken end, and you can get new ones, but we've got round to it yet. Now if that goes, one goes on here. It's all 50. It's interesting because it's 50 hertz, so you get all sorts of mains interference. It's just the output, which is detached. It's detached from the tube because I've just found that I intend to put some more turns on it, but the feed it's dead as wasn't the computer anymore, but I can't do that. And what's happened to so that's what he said. That's what the man said that he was dead. That's actually no. So let's just get that off. Egypt was dead. She'd been when he murdered her. He said that because I said he murdered Egypt yesterday. I think that's something. should have a voltage of the output. I don't know when we'll be actually output, so it's not connected across the coil. It's just there should be a pulse there. It's not showing. So let's see this across the line. Let's go the circuit. There's no pulses on the outside. No pulses on the output at all. But there are pulses going in, no pulses going out. This touch I just showed actually different. Oh, it is there. It's come. It's just come up. So there is an output. It's come up. It is. So the thing is now showing. That's the output. So let's see. It's 10 volts. 10 is volts. So that's what it gets from. It's actually. Let's see. That's the oscillator, and so it's actually 39 volts, and the input current is 5.33. That's 5.33, and it's 5.33 divided by 10. So that's it's 500 milliamps. 500 milliamps going in, so it's very short current. But if it goes, when I do it with the AC connected, with the meter connected, it's my trial current. It's actually 10. It's actually 1 amp, which is twice that. Which is twice, as I say, 500 milliamps. So it's twice that 1 amp. So it should be 40 volts. It should be 80 volts. Let's try that. That was actually, I need to short out that circuit. This one will now disappear. And this will now disappear. So put that in there. And there should be a pulse in there. It's a circuit with a circuit phase. And so there's the output pulse. It's actually varying because the oscillator is beating with the mains. And see if the transistor gets up. No, it's actually working quite nicely now. That's fine. Let's see what the input is. Now look at the input. I've got too many earths on here. There's earth everywhere, so that's no earth. That's no descriptor, come on. But if I put that on the earth, that's the earth. Yeah. So be really careful. It's I should short out the flash. And that goes on the input. Can't get it. I can't see it. That's not oscillating now because it's really disturbed. It's not oscillating. Let's see why it starts up suddenly. The voltage is not. Just turn it off. It's fully assessed. The first stuff is that stuff. That's what's happening. What happens is as soon as it stops working every hour, I don't know why it does or why it does that, but it's to do with the pulses. It upsets it. There's a pulse high voltage rush, it upsets it. It's actually the output voltage from 2 is 0. Actually, you should might start up in a minute. So that's well, I shouldn't work at it. No, not sure. So just stopped. No, but it must be. What's happened? That's the input. It's a modulation, and the output's not working. That's interesting. It could be the connection does it come on. The wires come on. The wires, this wire come on. Sparks. Can't see it. That's it. It's back. So it's come back. So that's the circuit. Let's put this one back. So that was a red herring because I thought it was old. Yeah. That's that. Can't see that. Let's see. That's the input. So there's the input and there's the output. So it is. And that's where we probably. So now behaving itself. I've now got 74 volts on the output, and the peak speed is 4.39. So if I want 7,000 volts, I've actually got to get 400 volts from the input, which is pretty impossible. But I think when I did it before, I haven't got a gas in the tube or anything like that, and there's an iron core which will affect it badly, but which actually probably diminish the power rather than increase it. But 74 volts, I want about 200 or 400 volts. So if I had inputs of 10 volts, which is what I'm aiming at, that would give me about twice that, so I get about 140 volts. That might be enough to start it. That's possible. Before, when I was doing the transformer, it was only 200 volts on the output. So that's geared towards that. So I need a bit more power on the input, because it will take it. But the current is still like this was. It's actually not. That's not 4 volts. That's actually current, isn't it? That's current. No, that's the input voltage. The input voltage is 4.39 volts, and the output is 75 volts. So it's not much more than a resistance to electric difference. And that's it. And that change in amplitude is caused by the oscillator, the signal generator beating with the mains. I could use the mains itself as a reference, which it would be quite illegal to do that because it's not providing you power. If I used a very small track, I could use a millimeter wave transformer to provide a signal, and that might produce a better result than a signal generator. And so I might do that. That's a reference to the mains voltage based transformer to a small wave transformer, which would be capacitors which we coupled. Well, it's right. It's the one. That would the resistance is much lower. So you would have to use this is 4 volts. It's not 4 volts. I use 4 volts. I need. If I had a mains transformer, I could use 6 volts or 9 volts. There's the output of 12 volts. So it would be possible, and that would drop the mains, so I wouldn't get that beating. That's possible, but that would prevent people saying I was using the mains as power supply. It isn't, but it is a reference. It'd be a reference, and that's a possibility. And I've got a miniature mains transformer. I don't want to get to it because I've got a 12 volt transformer that's blown up. I could buy another mains transformer. It's quite expensive for those transformers. But you see, the power supply is a battery, so I really need an oscillator, and if it wasn't going to the mains, it would work better. I need a rebridge oscillator, and perhaps I'll make that next. I've got the kit, and that goes on the input. It's getting quite warm now. It's getting quite warm, so there is fairly current going through it. I think I mentioned before is well, with the 10 ohm resistor, was actually going to be a very large current going through it. Because when I measured that over the meter, it was actually 10 1 amps, so it is now. It's actually 10 amps to break this circuit. Put this on the step. There's the current. It's AC current, there's a DC current as well. So, it's actually 1 amp, it's still 1 amp AC current, what's a DC current? This DC is 1 amp as well, DC is 1 amp. So that's really, it's largely about right, it's about right. So the DC cycle is, let's go to DC cycle. Okay, that's okay. So the current, that's correct. That's getting on. Interesting stuff to get up. It's 1 amp. It's 1 amp AC current, which is what I had before, and see, it was you see these is very difficult to use going to be right, but that's there's 1 amp. The actual, of course, the DC current is the average of the AC current. So it is about the same. It's policies that the average is average. If I look at the RMS voltage of this thing, it can be different. It's some idea. RMS, we've got peak to peak. The RMS is only 20 volts, so it's much less. The peak to peak is the important thing, but RMS is 20 volts, and it's 53 hertz. So when I make an oscillation, it has to be the actual Weebridge oscillator to be about the same. I've got the circuit of a Weebridge oscillator. Interesting. Well, I'm going to make that run for a while to see if it gets overheated. It doesn't have to run very long, you see, and it's a 055 transistor, which is supposed to run 10 amps, and of course the coil in there, it will need to be replaced. I don't think these because the DC level is not big enough, but it's only a 2 amp. But at the moment I'm passing, as I say, I was passing 500 milliamps. Well, that's all right. So if I won't produce 10 amps. 10 amps will be much higher. And that's what I say it was 1 amp at 4 volts. So if it was 10 amps, it would be 40 volts. That would be too much for the winding. But it would work for a while, and I don't really apply winding up. So I'm ready to put a new winding on, but this is just experimental. I'm just testing it, and so that's what I'm going to do. But I need to put a new winding on first. I can't buy that until this. If Edith's dead, I don't have to pay out that's a key, which is pretty rotten. And I don't know where she is. So it's very difficult. So the best thing is if the blind saucer which I control has resurrected her, it would have probably sent her back to Austria, which is safe. Coming here is very dangerous. And so she won't be here. So people won't look for her. Mrs. Dad is dead. So I know where she is. So she might have just gone, and she will be whisked back to Austria. Which is out of range of the British. And well, she'll find a mobile phone, we'll get to contact with him. But I'll send her some money on Monday, which is right normal thing to do, and she'll better draw it out. Well, she's probably got money of her own now. She's never to get here. So that's what she's done. So I don't know who brought her, what's going on at all. I spoke to the Australian authorities yesterday, and they told me that I think they told me they were looking for her. And when I was online to Egypt, it appears she was with the police. Maybe they found her. So know what cells happened. When she was here last night, she indicated that she was living in Austria. Not here, but she came here to see me. It's pretty fatal. It's fatal to do that. I mean, if the man from Australia kills him, we go without the dark things to do. He's insane. And well, we have belligerents too at times, pointing out the insanity of his religion. He thinks that the place he goes to well, he seems worshipping God, but he's screaming. But when he goes, it's a sort of vessel for the Holy Spirit. When he goes in there, he's got the Holy Spirit. I had no idea that. I didn't know that. It's a totally alien concept. They say it's God's house, so I just think it represents it. But they think the Holy Spirit is there. Well, it's not. They know rather than just say the church eventually going to be there. That's not true. That's not true. It means the thoughts of Jesus are there. It's not the Spirit itself. I mean, the Spirit is the thoughts. So God is messenger. And I'm dying now. I'm dying. I think the tablets are killing me. And that's all. I feel alright, but they kill me. So anyway, I think the idea is to give me a tablet so I get into it, and stop them, and I die. Sorry, I know what's going on, but really don't, because they're nasty up. Christians are nasty up. Really, because I'm going to die, because my body's dying. But if Egypt's back in Austria, which she could be, if she's able to leave the funeral parlour, which I was told she was in, because the resurrection starship could have fixed it if they knew where she was, which they could. They have a picture of her. She's got a transponder which does, so it's to see where she is. I know where she is. And she would have made her way back to Austria, which is where she lives. And of course, then she would pick up the funds or something. So I haven't got it again. And basically, I wouldn't even know she's been here, which is better. Of course, she came in the night and asked them the door to her, but what he must have seen her and murdered her at sunlight or temperature. And it's really sad, really. I mean, this afternoon he was talking to her. He liked what I said is what he said. He also had other points. He says two things at once. It's what Christians do. He says what's called the unintended terrors, etc. And well, but he was out to try to spear me with his little sword. Well, I was wearing this hard thing in my pocket, and he deflected it, but he could try again. And he's a really nasty man. Inside, we've never had the only thing about reading, and I have mine. I've had mine. Knowledge is to do with what I know to be true, and we're totally incompatible. What people believe in this country is totally incompatible with what I was brought up to, as I was brought up in Nazi Germany. And with which we're in contact with aliens. The British just hate that, because it means well, I know it's madness. They wanted to do the Christian religion. Our church didn't attack them because it was afraid that Obama is killing people to protect Christianity. When it's a lost cause, Christianity is forcing them to die anyway. It's daft thing to do. Christians, it's a sort of psychotic logic, really, self-fulfilling, and they're very good at killing people. Partly because they think they're wrong. They think if they don't believe their religion, they'll die, which means they fight. And I think the Muslims, the two sects of Muslims, the main sect, the original sect, which I think is similar, so they don't believe in religion at all. It's just a way of life for atheists. And they don't have to pray to God, because in Austria they can't prove it. But the other side, so they lose their faith, they die, and they live in Jesus Christ. Anyway, it's all nonsense. It's all totally alien. We're from another planet where it's all different. My time is running out, and my body will die because that's what they decide to do. I live a certain amount of time, and eventually my body will go out and I die. And my personality, which is not here at all, I'm not really here at all. I appear to be here. It's coordinated, but I'm not really here at all. If it's we do tests, you can show I was trying to radio signal, not directly here. I stumbled out of control. How that's happened without being in contact, but that's the problem. And so if my body fails, then well, my consciousness appears to return to work, which is it's not very nice because I'm not really reliable on the machine, but it's quite unpleasant for me. But you can have your memories right, you say that sort of stuff. But I don't know how hot this. I mean, the transistors will run hot, but they won't get that hot because the transistor itself will fail. But it's only taking 1 amp, so it should be alright. It should be alright, definitely on 10 amps if they last a short time. 10 amps is the maximum. That's got a big heat sink on it, but it really needs a fan to cool it as well. And it's got a driver transistor, which is sort of the problem. And of course, the driver transistor is only 500 milliamps. I think the gain of the CO55 is about 10 or something like that, 10. So it's taking 10 amps of 1 amp current, which is too much for a little transistor. So I may have to change it for a perkier one. But I think I won't around, if I run about 500 milliamps, it's actually the RMS one, so it's going to be, the peak is going to be more. So it's a peak, it is a bit of pulses, reduces up this, so the RMS value will be less, and quite like this for different thing. And so it is actually quite possible to run on that system. So just turn off that, so try now. But the sad world, all your friends are dying. I mean, Brian, who was quite enthusiastic, he just wanted to do it anyway. They cured him. Well, I don't think they've done his brain, but they're giving injections which are interfere with his memory, which, to their view, is good. That's right. Not protecting. It's not right. But this is not alien technology. This is human technology, and my object is to pass on things. Of course, I can't pass on very much because, well, it's special. But I don't know much. I don't know any alien technology. I'm not a technologist, but I know we have these master transmitters that send people several thousands of light years. Machines are sort of straight through that with relative today. I think it's almost, it's not quite instantaneous. It's almost instantaneous, and I really don't know how it works. And so it is, but all sorts of things. Like Star Trek, Star Trek is probably based on somebody's contacting experience. I mean, stars are like this, written about it. And I think there's been another person writing about it. It was, it's through one of my friends who's been on board the ship. And just Edith has been rescued from death once. It's probably they'll do it again. But I don't have direct knowledge because I don't know what's going on outside my immediate experience unless somebody tells me or the machine will respond to. So I don't know what's going on. And pretty sad really. Mostly the contactees are not supported, so if they run into trouble, the contactees, what they do, they'll get killed. Because of Christianity is holding back the human race, They don't think it is, but it is. It's holding back the human race, it's keeping it from developing. Keeping the human race from developing. And it will eventually kill the human race for that reason. And, people don't like me talking about aliens, don't talk about it, but they're stupid. I mean, they're violent. Because they think it means they'll die, well, they will. But I mean, we can prove that his lives can be extended by drugs, by chemistry and so on, and by treatment, but not forever. And there's some ideas of nuclear plants, which sounds good, not true. We can't. With the machines we build, we can. And I was sustained by a machine which is not me. So I have local knowledge at the moment which I've acquired. When if I return to Russia, I think my database will change to be adaptive, which is necessary. And so when I do change, I do adapt, I start talking about things that nobody understands, so they adapt me. So it's not worth having that knowledge because it's poisoning people. That's the problem. About a database that can be altered is right, the access to the access, so the access is difficult. And it really is unbelievable. And it's very difficult to live here because everybody is a lunatic. They won the war, and everybody's been taught things that which they believe is true, but I suppose the people in authority do know that they're false. So they know. We don't know what they think. And I mean, the authorities think they're made by God to rule the world and everything else. Well, they're just people to me, just people. Little, little cobras that come down from the trees, that's all we are. And we are the same, we are the same. And our electronic race, our robots, was built by these other people, and we sustain their lives, and then eventually the biological carbon types did actually die out. But we could become them, we can produce them again. So it's really sad. The people, if you see people from space, most of them are androids. They're not really people at all. They're not images. They're reconstructions. But so it is. You know, I know what's going on. I really don't. It's confusing to me. You know. I mean, people. I'm not expecting people to try and kill me. I try to talk to people. You can't. If I was an alien in alien form, they'd pretty obvious if I was probably kill me anyway. If I see an alien too, they want to work with them. That's happening. It's understandable, but I can't communicate with you because of your culture. In Russia, places like that are good because their culture wasn't there. Russia was actually a more advanced culture, but over here they say, "Is it better in Russia?" Well, it is actually. I mean, it's different, but the reason that Russia couldn't take off was the climate stuff. But communism was not a very good idea, but American culture does include aliens, and you're allowed to believe that there because it's freedom of religion, but here they're business affairs, and I'm not allowed to leave. I try to go to America, they go and drag me back. It's very unpleasant. British are awful people. Because their queen's position depends on living together, and all their culture is based on it. And they think if you're going to die, you won't work, which is possible people won't work, it's possible that. I don't care. Let's go enjoy life. I feel enjoy it, so won't let me. I hope to retire. I'm sorry to retire. And they can stop with my money. They'll bring me some. I'm very angry, and I'm dying. And they've stabbed me in the chest, and I'm dying. So that's it. And I don't see they're all hanged actually. And because they're so backward, both of us was probably best to do. The Hitler sort of order with that, but it's not our way. But they cannot, because of Christianity, their database, or closed database, they cannot develop. They're stuck. They destroy scientists who say other things, and can't get anywhere, can you? It's an illness they have. It's a sort of fear, it's a parallel fear of death, which is an ordinary fear of death, where the priests exploit the fear of death to get money and power and so on, get good working factions and so on. But it's two-class society, whether it's our class, the upper class, it's because they want the upper class have a good time, and they want to know, well, I think they do believe in Jesus as well, but the low classes have nothing else. It's the opium of the masses, and it's pretty awful, really. They have privileged people, and if you get a privilege, then you have to think they're privileged, otherwise they're attack you. It's a business place. You get some people become doctors, and they're told that if you don't think you're privileged, you will kill you, basically. It's a bad business. And priests tell lies, and if they don't, they get killed. And doctors think they have to be trained to think they're superior, because they're doctors. And they do have control over people, fair enough, and death, but basically, their skills are about saying there was a plumber. They're not skilled in a plumber, they're special knowledge, which the others have life, first life skill, life and death. Because most of them can kill people with a plumber can kill someone with a spanner and so on. So they all have to have life and death. But doctors get away with it. And people who are ill go to the doctor, and of course, if they don't like you, they kill you. So they're not straightforward. I really don't understand. They don't understand how you grow a new brain. Or at least I don't know. They actually must speak old about me anyway. But just CT scan says my brain was. I really don't know. But they wonder why I'm doing it. After they took my brain out, I'm psychiatrist right normally. They just looked after this brain dead person. They take all brain pills, but it's pretty awful. The Christians, the worst criminal in human history, basically. And although I don't actually think burning alive is a good idea, they're so sick, so criminal, I can't see anything else to do. It's the wrong thing to do, but they do burn us alive. That's really good. In Springfield, this death camp which I've been allowed to leave, they have they do broken ground. It's useless, but and they do have this was done in Springfield, and so awful people, really awful. Of course, they complain about ISIS machine gunning people. They feel the same. But, I mean, you feel religion when you don't defend each other. You just accept people have their ideas. I was talking to some of these Joshuas, they called Jehovah's down the road, when they were giving away their magazines. And I tried to talk to them, which is probably the wrong thing to do, and they got angry. So I walked away. That's always the right thing to do. But they could have attacked me. And at the end of the year, they've got something, but it's really unpleasant. They thought, let's do for live in peace. And they say, you don't live in peace if God can take over the world. Well, that's totally unacceptable. There's no one. That's why it's incompatible. Incompatible cultures can't get on. That's the problem. I mean, I don't know what they say Muslims worship God or pray to God. Well, they say it, do they? Well, someone knows. I don't know. I was told that Islam is a religion of atheists. It's a survival. I don't know. I do talk about Allah, and so on, but whether they do believe it. Well, it's sort of idea. It's where I come from, we're not allowed to believe in such things. It's illegal because people who come to that conclusion usually do not live because they won't get in, actually. And people who find God die. They're not killed, they die, and they engage the life of other people. So it's illegal. And so it's pretty awful. But we can't get anywhere with them. They start off innocent enough, but actually they're horrible people. They get violent, They're friendly if you join them, but they're so insane you can't do anything. And in the Bible they do have a tree of knowledge which is poisonous. You don't have to eat it, which is what I have done, and other people have. And so they suffer from eating it because they're going to die. That's the reason you live. Life and death, literally. So you die. And other people don't think so. They're happy. So it's a sad world, and it's a human condition, and it's sad, So it's where I come from, the tragedy of sentience, We try to live as long as we know the accidents will come. And it's just as well. If you live a million years, the last day of your life is just as bad as if you had to live. And the universe is like that. It's awful. It's cruel. And all the other living things have that problem. And androids who don't live forever have the same problem. It's the same. Well, an android is in real life. And he can have his memories right, all sorts of things. All nasty. And an android is controlled by the memories he has. A robot is more strictly controlled. And it's a really awful place. It really is. Children think that's right, so it's all wonderful, but it's not. I was talking to these Jehovah's children, and the child understood, but here they're probably tonight, and they attack him and try and beat up, and they beat out of people, they beat people, and they come nasty, they're vicious, and they talk about not retiring any money. But they had these laws about not getting into debt, like the other thing in the 13th century, and then when they started to have money lending, the business took off because it was possible. But I tell you, debts you can't pay basically, and I'm in debt, which is really impossible. And even my large debts I have are possible to pay. But we haven't really worked with enough to save up. I'm good in China, but you don't have long to enjoy yourself in retirement, but they won't steal it. I think they're angry because what they call the socialists had more money than they did. I think it was something like that. They stole it. And I think those who have all died actually, it's over. But they won't very soon. If I can't have you can't have either. It really is awful. Money's poisonous and people hang on to it. and they shone because I was vulnerable. So people do, yeah, well, I don't see this, and that's not it. Because I was so talented a long time ago. I must have known I would get money anyway, at the time. And I think the main thing was money rather than mortality, but it comes from that. You know, they say people who go to church become successful and become rich. That's just so luxury. But that's not the same as mortality. You know. It is nice. And I could just pop down to the church around the corner, but it's dark now. It's actually quite a nasty place to be out in the dark. So not only Christians are taken, but other fans are taken. I don't like it. It's like I'm going to the church, it's boring. Yeah, you know, he wants you to take part, just sing words. So I can't hear what they're saying anyway. And but it's all nonsense, it's difficult to do it. And it's difficult to sing hymns, but it's just a chance, I can't do it. So I always have that problem. And I mean, their original is nonsense, it really is. I don't know what they're talking about. That's wrong. Being a straight out in the thrust, this playing with people are all mad, it's very, very difficult. Very, very difficult. And, you know, death does come, but you can't be like first. That's very important. And that applies to aliens here as well. And it's so simple. It really is. Some planets do have reason, and they have space travel, but they're very compatible, but some people don't. And they have temples and so on, so it does happen. But we're happy that way. Happiness is important. Whether religion makes you happy or not, but it's nice. And probably it makes them do things, horrible things. And destroy science as well, these are what they do. And you know, this someone man, I think was his name. They put this on my Facebook. I said, whatever it was, even though I was charged. I saw aliens. So I had maybe I did. But it was. I told you the biplane. Yes, it probably was a biplane. So that's acceptable. I didn't know. I was charged, but they attacked me. You know, for seeing a biplane, whatever it was. And that's what it was. You know, somebody else asked us, well, it was a biplane. So they're upset about it, but it done damage, you see. I mean, it was like source of supply by the time, whatever it was quite popular at the time. But the church was advised about it, because for whatever reason. And I was in my friend, like that's where it was. And so that's how me. I was going to a city of national life, you know, when I was 7. When I've later found it's probably not possible, because it's a rock, didn't know that. But right with silicones in it, we've got our face possible. And I've got silicones in it. Because the silicones come out of it. It's awful, the Christians are awful people, but when they think of this, it really horrifying. And I suppose they say my death would be a noisy affair. It depends how quickly you die, you know. You know, if I join them, have every luxury, well, that's tempting, because they would benefit because I would stop attacking them. And it is tempting to do that. You know, to find yourself. In fact, this Stephen Hawkins, who was going literal atheist, he was intercepting his way, and probably he was probably knocked in the head basically, and he's now saying himself some rubbish. Well, in fact, I thought that first place, what the other one said his audience, that he was out to university. No, he can't. It's just now. And I used to think that our minds, because we're caged in the universe, we're capable of understanding the universe. Unfortunately, that's not true. They answer about the universe, they probably don't understand. They understand what they do that, but sure. And the degree of understanding increases with this as this develops. And human beings are no means the most intelligent animals. My brain is reduced at one time. They shut my brain out, you know. Because it was too, because I was talking the things they didn't understand. I had the child who was an adoption. They shut the brain out, I wonder if they're sitting one away. They said they had illnesses there, an illness. They thought it was demonic possession. They're really primitive, especially the British. I don't know about other countries, but British is very primitive. And even in Hungary, they talk in the same way. Demons and so on. I think that because Edith came out from the dead, they think something else. Well, according to the road, he has died, and therefore the person she is doesn't exist, and she can't get him. That's interesting. Well, she knows somewhere else, doesn't apply. But if she killed her again, something applies. So we go back to Austria. It seems like very efficient. These records are interesting. This person, apparently they've got a record of me dying probably more than once in the past, and I shot down as dead. The record I've just given me, which goes back, which is not the whole record. It shows that so 1989, I had died of left ventricular failure. I didn't know that because apparently that's when I died. I'm still alive. And still the record carries on. Strange, must be a different person. This is about the same person. So I can go from there, but now they're trying to devise it, desperately trying to kill me, or let them join them. It's difficult. The Russians say something, either join us or die. Or the Christians say something, either join us or die. So it's difficult, and it really is difficult. There's no point joining ISIS because they'll be defeated. Because the spirit army, they've engaged a range of a superior force, which are dark things to do. This execution they did caused them to be attacked, and well, they must have predicted that. Well, it's a dark thing to do. They thought it would frighten the Americans off. It's just the opposite. So the British, and all people behave like that. If you see a friend die, you try to avenge the person's death. And a lot of my friends have maimed or died in Sri Lanka, or in anywhere. And people are killing them are sick people. And it really is unpleasant. Now, the flying saucers, which there's lots more than one, there's lots of them. They do have weapons. And cycle laser cannons, which is a sort of electromagnetic radiation, which just vaporizes people. And they can be done to vaporize people and do with buildings and so forth. But it could be done, but it's we thought we could make friends with the humanists, we can't. It's not possible. It's the religion that stops it. And they're vicious, they think they're clever, but they're sealing their own fate, really. They don't realise they're attacking a superior force, sort of thing, and we do not want to kill them. We don't want to. They're really sick men. I really don't know what to do. Beyond me, they're clever in some ways, but I think the database is wrong. They can't escape from it. Anyway, I'm going to shut up. I'll probably kill myself in the end because it's so depressing. So depressing. I'm getting very depressed. Very depressed. I'm going to stop now. Goodbye.